Thank you, Chair. Chair, in order to truly make any fundamental changes to asylum policy, we would have to leave the European Union, because at this moment, the EU decides who we must admit, who is allowed to stay here, and under what conditions. The PVV has always agreed with this, has fought hard for an exit for 20 years, and it was still in the most recent election manifesto for the 2023 parliamentary elections. During the negotiations for the last cabinet, the PVV suddenly changed course and stated, "We no longer want an exit now for unclear reasons." I can't help but feel that this had to do with coalition agreements. And that's why my question is, now that the PVV has left the cabinet and we're heading into new elections, can we count on the PVV to stand with us again in our fight for an exit so that we can truly be in charge of our own country again?
In our last election manifesto, I believe for the European parliamentary elections, we indeed no longer included an exit. But anyway, you have to wait for our new election manifesto. I do see, let's say, that more is possible even without that exit. You can see it in Germany. They just send asylum seekers back. Belgium no longer takes in male asylum seekers. Austria wants a temporary halt on all forms of family reunification. So more is possible than just an exit. In that case, it's not even necessary. So, well, just wait for the new election manifesto, I'd say.
Yes, Chair. We do indeed see that in a number of countries, they are trying to make use of the exception clause in the EU treaty. But at the same time, we also see that the courts are blocking this and that it has never led to a judge actually accepting that ground. And it's very easy to just refer to the next election manifesto now, but today we're having a very important debate about asylum policy. This is a fundamental aspect of it. And I think a lot of people are also very curious about how the PVV views this at this moment, as we speak, not in the past or the future, but how the PVV looks at it today. Is the PVV in favor of an exit or not?
Well, as I said, in the last election manifesto, it also stated that we no longer want an exit. So we are not in favor of an exit. And when it comes to those other countries, for example, Germany, where the judge has said it's not allowed, well, Germany just keeps doing it anyway. So it's not like they've stopped. So we say, well, you see, it's possible. Just do it in the Netherlands as well.
Yes, but according to judges who interpret EU law, it's not allowed. Then the PVV can say, yes, we'll just ignore those court rulings and keep doing it anyway. But wouldn't it be much more straightforward to say, yes, if we don't want to abide by those rules, then we should stop those rules and withdraw from them? I think that's the proper course. And not to say we want to remain part of those treaties, which prevent us from determining our own asylum policy. And if judges then say it's not allowed, we just won't comply. Wouldn't it be most straightforward to say, then we should just leave the EU so we can truly be in charge of our own country again?
Yes, as I just said, that's not necessary. We can take that route. We can amend treaties, we can amend the EU treaty. There are more possibilities, and that's what we stand for.
Yes, unfortunately, in practice, there's been no sign of that so far. But I'm looking forward with great interest to the new election program of the PVV. And I hope that we can once again fight together for an exit.